This is it, the pinnacle, the most excessive Wrangler in history. This is the Jeep Wrangler Rubicon 392. Of course, the party piece of this Wrangler is what's lurking under the hood. Lying in wait is a naturally aspirated 6.4-liter V8 spewing 470 horsepower and the same number in torque. It's got a ZF 8-speed gearbox, an automatic 4-wheel drive, and 0 to 60 is done in 4.5 seconds. Yep. It's got the V8 now, but this is still a Wrangler, which means anywhere that's paved, it's pretty terrible to drive. It's body on frame, and they soften the rear suspension so it wallows about. It's got a solid rear axle, solid front axle, and recirculating ball steering, which means it's so opposed to going in a straight line that Stellantis couldn't even fit lane keep assist. And of course, at highway speeds, it's loud and could blow over in a stiff wind because it has worse aerodynamics than a Bulbasaur. However, and I say this with complete confidence, and I truly believe this is the best thing to ever wear the Jeep badge. This Rubicon 392 is the perfect illustration that you can take a pretty objectively terrible car and give it one incredible standout feature that completely dismisses any hesitation or reservation that you might have about the vehicle. Terrible fuel economy? V8 sound. Horrible steering and body composition on the highway? V8 sound. Generally uncomfortable? V8. This 6.4-liter, 392 cubic inch naturally aspirated V8 transforms this Wrangler Rubicon 392 from something that I would never entertain owning to something that I feel like I need in my garage. This Rubicon 392 is tree-splittingly loud and rabid chipmunk fast, but by no means is it a sports SUV. It's over 5,100 pounds and it's got a ladder frame. The suspension, while not the Fox dampers, are tuned for articulation and off-roading. The solid front axle is good for that same thing, and that's about it. And just keeping it on the road is a chore. The transmission, while a ZF 8-speed unit, isn't what I would call sharp or sporty. Now, all of that is essentially to say, while it does have the big engine and it's incredibly fast, this is by no means a sports car. This is still a Jeep Wrangler, and a Rubicon at that, which means its mission is not found on your suburban streets. So let's meet up with Paulo and see how it really shakes down. Finally here. Been so excited to drive this thing and spend a week with it since we got to play with it a little bit at Road America.
Yeah, I know, same. It's been on my mind since then as well. It's a great car.
Good. It's so good. And you know why I know it's good?
How's that?
It's because my wife hates it. It's so loud and she can't stand it.
Yeah, it's an obnoxious car, but it's awesome.
It's just good though.
And I like the color scheme here too, the white with the gold or the bronze and the black accents. It's a nice touch.
It's incredibly put together, and it's accented really well by the Extreme Recon package. So you get the 35-inch BFG KO2s, 17-inch bronze beadlock capable wheels. It looks amazing. I think the Recon gives you another 1.5 inch lift. So I think the 392 comes with a little bit of lift, and it's even more up there. So yeah, it looks awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, it's kind of subtle, the differences between the 392, right, and a regular Rubicon. You have a badge here up front, you have your gold accents, or your bronze accents, I'm sorry. But on the side, it's not too revealing that it is.
Yeah, I do like that. Jeep does, I mean, with the 4xe that we had too, it was kind of the same story where they sent it to us in blue, and that's really like the front recovery hooks. Those were blue, and that's kind of how you tell that it's a 4xe.
Yep.
Same thing with the Rubicon. I think they all come with like the gold accents. It looks spectacular. But yeah, on the side, you can't really tell. It's super incognito. And then of course you get to the back, you've got another gold accent. But what do you have?
Toe point, yeah. You have a quad exhaust, which is awesome, and it sounds phenomenal.
It's the best thing about the car. Really,
Absolutely.
It really is. But it's freezing out here, so let's go inside.
Yes. So it's a Wrangler, and it's almost $85,000. So does this interior feel like an $85,000 car?
Nope. This isn't even the most special Wrangler interior I think I've been in.
No, but I mean, that's not what you're paying for, obviously, with $85,000.
Right,
You're paying
for the big motor, the sound, and like, this is what I said in my behind the wheel is like, you can forgive so much about this thing because it has so much character.
Yep, yeah, for sure. And it's reasonably comfortable, I think. On long trips, I think we both really wish that we had lane keep assist.
Yep.
It's challenging to keep on the road in a straight line.
Yeah, I mean, you do get adaptive cruise, so you get some stuff, but like the 4xe didn't have it, this doesn't have it. I don't know if it has anything to do with the solid front axle or the recirculating ball steering, but it's just something that we had in the Grand Cherokee, which was really, really nice and worked really well, and it's missing here. Another thing that's missing here, from a creature comfort standpoint, is no cooled seat. Now, obviously, we don't need it today, but it would be nice to have on something that's approaching 85K.
Yeah, to be included.
Yeah.
You have kind of like a half digital gauge cluster with the analog still.
It looks great.
Yeah, it looks good. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto.
Yep.
Some pretty cool off-road features like the trail cams, your angle departure, your pitch and roll.
Yeah, you've got all that stuff. The Uconnect system has always been pretty good. The graphics are good. The response is good. When you get into like the Hellcat stuff and the performance pages, that's kind of laggy, but you don't have that here, at least not that we've experienced. And I mean, it's great in here. It's very Jeep, it's very Wrangler, it's very utilitarian, but it's a very familiar feeling if you're coming from a Wrangler.
Yeah, no, and then obviously you can take the doors off, and this roof that we have, which is the dome, the pano.
Yeah, how do you feel about this roof?
Something specific. I think if you're not doing a lot of highway driving, it's great, but it is quite loud.
Yeah.
So I would honestly, I think, prefer the hardtop with the Freedom panels in the front, because
Freedom panel!
Those are pretty quick to take on and off, but I could see that this is obviously just a lot.
It's so much more convenient.
Yeah, it's less of a hassle.
You don't have to like put anything anywhere. I do like this from a convenience perspective. I don't want to have to take the roof off and then put it in the trunk, and then I'm sacrificing trunk room. This is a nice alternative. My only concern would be, can you still mount a roof rack if you want to have like, I don't know, a rooftop tent or a basket or anything up there? Can you still do that? And then that's really it.
Yeah.
And it is loud. But yeah.
Yeah, and I think we should just quickly mention the rear seats and the trunk. The rear seats are adequate. They're not necessarily spacious or luxe, but they're additional seats.
They're sufficient.
Yeah. And then the trunk is a decent size. It's not necessarily massive, but you get a good size.
No, I mean, it ultimately ends up being relatively practical. I think my favorite thing from like a day-to-day perspective is it comes with the 4Auto.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So like in snow like this, you feel a lot safer.
Yeah, and you can also connect a few optional lighting, or
and you can control your diffs and everything up here, your sway bars.
The additional auxiliary ports that you have.
Yeah. So with that being said, why don't you go ahead and send it down some trails?
Let's do it. This is still a Wrangler, and more importantly, it still says Rubicon on the side of the hood. So let's review and recap what that means. Of course, you get your traditional body-on-frame architecture. You get a 2-speed transfer case and a 4-wheel drive system. Interestingly enough though, you get a 4-wheel drive auto, which is really nice for bad weather conditions on the road. You get 17-inch beadlock capable wheels, so you can air all the way down if needed. You have the upgraded 35-inch BFG KO2 tires, which are great. You don't have the Fox suspension, but the articulation is still very good, especially since you can still disconnect your sway bar. With the lifted tires, you get almost 13 inches of ground clearance, a 47-degree approach angle over a 40-degree departure angle, and almost a 27-degree breakover angle. Water fording is also improved to 33.5 inches. And finally, you can still lock your front and rear diffs. So that was a lot of numbers and specs, and while it is impressive, let's actually see what that gets you out here on the trails. Okay, so let's see, it's quite icy. I'm gonna let you guys know what our pitch is at because I got up to about 20 degrees. And it handled this no problem. So, obviously, again, we're not going to push it to the limits out here because we don't have a support vehicle. But right now, it's very slippery out here. Basically, the whole trail is covered in ice. But I just put it into 4 low. I locked the rear axle and just going to try and go up this little portion. It's not particularly steep or anything, but again, it's full of ice. So we're just going to see how it does. I'm going to try and mention what our pitch and roll is at while I go up this. Oh, I mean, locking the rear diff is just insane. It just, no problem. It feels so much more composed out here, putting it into 4 low and getting the rear axle locked. Okay, so we are gonna do another little bit of an obstacle, one that I was actually too afraid to do in my own Jeep when we were here in the summer. So worst conditions now, I'm just gonna show you guys. This is what it looks like. So I'll be able to tell you guys how steep it actually is once we're on it, but obviously I'm in 4 low. I got both axles locked, and we're gonna see how we do. My only nervous issue is with this tree.
Just straight up, straight down. So this is like a straight up obstacle.
It's insane. I actually kind of want to, okay. All right. So am I good? Not going to hit anything?
Slow. Very slow. Now we're gonna start climbing. You're good?
Is my
Power, easy.
is my front bumper good?
Easy power, you're good. You're good. Easy power. You're good. Very easy power.
Rear is good?
Yeah. Yep. What angle are you at?
30? This is insane.
Hold on, I'm gonna go underneath. Oh my god.
Wait, take a photo.
Yeah, very easy, very easy. Good, nice, easy. You're gonna start slipping here. Slow, 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 slow. Okay. Maybe try.
I'm going to just try again and keep the power.
Yeah, and then power. No. Yeah, I mean, there's just, you're not gonna have traction. Maybe we can put a traction board there, but then you're still probably not gonna. Back wheels are about to hit now. Oh, easy. All right, try it real slow. No traction. Easy on, easy on. There you go. Good, good, good. All right, cut it. And easy. Wheels left, wheels left. Good. And back out. You're clear. That was close, man.
Dude, it felt way steeper than this, dude.
I know.
I literally am like
It looks
that.
like that doesn't look how it looks in real life.
So there it is. And while this wouldn't get up that rock face that's covered in snow and ice, that's not exactly the fault of the Jeep. What it amounts to is this 392 is the most comfortable Wrangler, the most capable Wrangler, and now has the most character. I said at the beginning that this was the best thing to ever wear the Jeep badge, and I stand by that. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to Jeep, thank you to Tigerton, and we'll see you next time.